Hey, everybody, welcome back to the DeTalented Podcast. Jimmy, I'm coming in hot tonight because tonight is the night. Do you know what I hold in my hands? These are tickets.
I can see that.
Guns and Hoses 2026 on April 11th at the Ford Center, baby. It's where cops and firefighters come together in the most real, raw way you can by punching each other in the face for charity. As always, I'm here with my bestest good buddy, Mr. Talented Man himself, who will be performing the national anthem at this year's Guns and Hoses event, Jimmy DeTalent. Jimmy, say hi.
Yeah, baby. Hey, hi.
That's it?
That's it.
Man,
I can't match your excitement.
You can if you try.
I'm not going to try. Why would I?
I don't know. But you know what? Another reason I'm excited?
Why?
Because tonight with us to give these tickets away is the founder of 911 Gives Hope. Is that right?
One of
the founders of 911 Gives
Hope.
That's
still accurate, though.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
the creator of Guns and Hoses. One of. The creator of Mickey's Kingdom. The creator of Kids Kingdom. The creator of I'm going to go meet Garth Brooks and pull some big crap off.
Can we put legend in there? I think that's
okay. Today with us. Yeah. Is the former Evansville police chief, the current Henderson police chief, the always legend himself, Billy the Legend Man Bolin. Billy.
I thank God that I have two people that think like you in this world.
Hey, man.
I think you're the only two, but I appreciate that. It's very, very nice.
Man, you know what? Some people are just jelly.
That's right.
And they can say what they want, man. Facts are facts. You pull some stuff off.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
it. Yeah, we've
always team effort, though.
We've talked
a lot of people.
Maybe so. Maybe they're team efforts, man. But there's a common denominator. You know what that is? The worm, Billy Bolin. Bing! Dude,
I couldn't wait to do that.
What a good move right there that was.
I told him not to let Brian have that, and here you are.
That's still ringing.
I couldn't even see the hammer. I still hear it.
It's still going.
Yeah,
it's still going. So is this the actual ring? Side bell?
This was the bell for the first, I don't know how many years. We retired it several years back, and it's found a home hanging in my garage. So there's a new one, but this was the one used for years at Guns and Hoses.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
That's a piece of history.
Yeah,
that is a piece of history.
For sure.
We've had one fighter we know who has fought with that bell ringing.
That's right.
Chad. How you say his last name?
Emsweller.
Last week, man. And
he's a stud.
He is a stud, man. 18 fights this year. This will be his 18th fight in Guns and Hoses.
You know something so impressive about him? Year one when he fought, I heard the interview where you talked about him and Rob Pilot. It was the first year. Nobody knew what they were doing. It was new to everybody. Nobody understood how tired they would be. They were both shot. And I laugh. It was kind of like the moment in Rocky where him and Apollo both fall down.
Yeah.
So they both fell on each other and fell down. But that's the only time in his 17 years of fighting he's been on the mat.
Oh, he's never been knocked down besides that?
No, and he has ate some punches, and he just keeps on moving forward. That dude just takes it, and he can't hurt him.
So he got some meat on that head.
Yes, he does.
All right.
Yes, he does. But the other Rocky reference with him that I joke about is in Rocky IV when Rocky goes to Russia and fights Drago. By the end of it, he's kind of won the crowd over.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite things at Guns and Hoses is they will announce Chad Emsweller, and you will see a huge chunk of the Guns crowd stand up and cheer for him.
Yeah.
He's earned the respect over the years. You know, the fact that he's doing this every year.
He's the OG, man.
Yeah. And I'm one of them. I stand for him. I love Chad. He's a great representative of this.
He was a great
event.
guy.
Yeah.
He really is.
I've actually talked to him quite a bit after the show last week. Did you get to hear the story I told him about you last week on the show?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Billy, he's in the tree. Billy, get out of the tree.
Dude, we were so dumb. And I've had guys try to get me to do this, and I've never had any serious desire at all to do it because I'm slow. And I think back to those days in the Culbertson side yard where I would get hammered. But the fighting on the trampoline, and these kids today, they've got the little protective things around them. We didn't have those.
No.
We're on a trampoline with no guardrails.
Billy, I told the story.
And I know. And, man, I hit that ground. Every ounce of air left my body. I mean, I was
dude,
just like,
you were dead up like this.
He did the Nestea plunge.
Dude, landed on his back.
It was horrible. Troy Williams was his last name.
Troy Williams. That's right, man.
And then another one, Mike Baggett. I remember throwing a punch at him one time, and it was like I ate 5 or 6 punches before I knew what happened.
You know what?
I mean,
he was a pretty decent boxer.
oh, he was fast.
Yeah, I remember him being a pretty decent boxer.
I'm just slow. If I can grab you, I may be able to get something done. But as far as throwing punches, that's not my I'm really good with pepper spray and a nightstick. I mean, I can fight great. I have those things. Take them away from me, and it's pretty bad.
I'm really good with the 45.
I like cheating. Cheating is a great way to fight.
Hey, that's equalizing, man. Equalizing.
That's great.
But these guys are going in there in gloves and what I said it last week. I'll say it again. What I consider a disadvantage, that headgear, and putting it on the line. Like I said, man, I know you've watched these episodes where we're talking, and I'm super excited, honestly, that you came on for this one. We'll give the tickets away, and we'll just get to talk about it a little bit. That'll be our last one in the series. But how that, like me and Jimmy were talking, like first of all, at 50 years old, no shot. I'm not doing it. But even back when I was younger, I would have. My attitude would have been, I don't care if I lose. I just don't want to get knocked out, right?
Yep.
So there was most of the fighters that we spoke to in this series were with us on that. Even Chris Rowe was like, I just don't want to get knocked out, And
there was one guy who said,
but there was one guy who said, if I do, I do. Yeah. Eric Baumberger, baby. He was like, hey, if I do, I do. That little crazy, that just something. But I think. People don't realize the amount of it takes courage to get in there and do this, man.
Of course.
That's some. There's nothing like going into, and most people think that the scary part of fighting is that you might get hurt, and maybe it is that way for some people. For me, the scarier part about, and this is just from being dumb when I was young, I didn't care about getting hurt. I cared about getting embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't. It was more. I didn't want my pride hurt. And these guys are putting that pride on the line to go out there. Because man, here's the thing: every fight there's going to be a winner and a loser. But the thing is man, they're doing it for such a good cause, man. That you gotta root on and cheer for all of them because it's just such a big thing that they're doing, that they're putting on the line to help these people, these kids, these people that have disabilities or wherever these $2.1 million so far in charities given to people. And that's a lot of money because these guys are willing to put it on the line and go out there and do this, man. It's pretty cool, man. It's really cool, So good on every fighter. Now, I'm not going to lie. We've said it on the air. We're going to do it. We've got a handful of fighters that came on the show. We're going to be rooting for them. We're going to be hollering for them.
We're going to be rooting.
We're going to be hollering for the Steelhammer. We're going to be hollering for Eric Baumberger. We're going to be hollering for Ryan Lux. We're going to be hiring for Big Chad. We're going to be hollering for all of the guys that came on the show.
You guys are being fair. You're splitting. You got some guns, some hoses.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's something that I kind of noticed, since you said that, is I didn't really care when I was talking to him. I was more into the person. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, they're all just guys. They're all first responders, so they're all doing. They all do good things for humanity, for people, and so I didn't find myself like saying, I'm going to root for guns or I'm going to root for hoses, man. I'm rooting for people.
Well, and you know what? They were all great.
They were all great.
Like before they came in, I thought, man, what if somebody sucks? And it's like, they were all legitimately good people. Everybody, Big Sexy's awesome. Shannon's
one
of my favorite people.
Chris Rowe is awesome. They are all just high quality people.
I'm rooting for Big Sexy to go at the end and take on everybody.
I've seen pictures of him back in the day, and he was a stud too. He spent time in the service.
He's still a stud. What are you talking about, Bill?
Yeah, well, true. He's a Big Sexy. I'm sorry, I didn't want it to sound like that.
Big Sexy was awesome, dude. We took a picture of me and Chris Rowe and Big Sexy and Jimmy
and me.
The next week, Jimmy was like, "Man, did you see that picture?" He's like, "That sucked."
Well, Billy can identify. We're average height people here, and then you got these ginormous guys. It's like, man, I look like a munchkin.
I said, Jimmy, as soon as I see that picture and seen you, I was like, No,
I'm there with you, Jimmy.
It is. So, man, tell us, how did you? Okay, first of all, you've got some props, man. Tell us about Hulk Hogan, because he is a great he is a great American.
Yes. He's a real American.
Yeah, tell us how that kind of connects to Guns and Hoses and how you kind of got this all going and all that good stuff.
So real quick before I get in him, and we talked last time about Pat Burnett and his daughter Mickey, but me and Paul Kirby had done the Kids Kingdom Playground. We were doing little fundraisers to help maintain it, upkeep it, and Pat came to me one day and he goes, "Hey man, why don't we start a Guns and Hoses boxing match?" And we split the proceeds between the Prater Willie and upkeep for Kids Kingdom. And I said, "Pat, nobody watches boxing anymore. Nobody's going to go to that. Everybody's into the MMA stuff." And he said, "I'm telling you, I used to be over in St. Louis. They do it over there. It's huge." And I just kind of blew him off. Well, a few weeks later, I run into him at the department. He goes, "Hey, did you look into that, what I told you about that Guns and Hoses?" And I blew him off again. He said, "Man, please." He goes, "Look into what they're doing in St. Louis. I think we could do it here." So I look it up, and I'm like, man, they put 17,000 people, and I think it was called the Scott Trade Center at the time over there. Yeah. And I'm like, if they can do that, I mean, we're smaller, but maybe we could do something. So we had, I think, a little bit under $2,000 in our Kids Kingdom maintenance fund account. And Paul and I talked with Pat, and we decided to gamble our money, and that was a lot of money for us back then, and put on this boxing event. So we went and talked to the Coliseum, and I think they charged us like $1,500 to rent the Coliseum or something like that. We rented a ring from some group in Owensboro, Kentucky, and it was an octagon like wrestling ring. It was bouncy, was not conducive to boxing. I was the DJ. I was Concept Sound and Light at the time. I had a laptop up on the stage. I had the fighter intro songs, and we had two little speakers on poles up there. But for me, I was a dork as a kid, and you guys knew me. I was obsessed with professional wrestling. Back in middle school, I used to have tickets and go to the Coliseum every Wednesday and watch it. Yeah. So for me, it was cool to be in the Coliseum where I used to watch Jerry Lawler and Macho Man Randy Savage and Bill Dundee and Jimmy Superfly Sting. I watched all those people there. And then to be in the locker room, and first it's like there's one locker room. So all those dudes back in the day were all in the same locker room, and then they come out different sides. Yeah. So I'm learning all this, but getting to put on an event there was awesome, and it was electric. Chad Emswiller mentioned it's probably his favorite one. He said it was his favorite, yeah. We sold out like a week before the event. There was people out front trying to like pay people more for their tickets and buy them.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and at the first one, we didn't know what to expect.
What's the capacity there in that room?
It was around 2,000 back then. So we sold out that first one with like 2,000 people, and people were nuts in there. I mean, it was electric. People were screaming, and we didn't know what to expect. I remember the very first fight was Bobby Weiss from Evansville Police and Michael Sweet Polly from Henderson Fire. And we had been told by a lot of the fire guys that Polly did not look good in the gym. And Bobby had did some Golden Gloves boxing. So, and Bobby's a good friend of mine, great guy. But me and Pat told Bobby, we're like, hey, man, we're hearing this guy's not very good, so please don't go out there and just destroy him. I mean, kind of take it easy on him. And Bobby's such a nice guy. He says, okay. And go out that first round, and Polly comes out like the Tasmanian devil. And Pat's up next to me, and we're screaming. We're like, forget what we said. But the crowd lost their mind in there. I mean, it was a great event. And then afterwards,
wait. Who won that fight?
So Bobby won. Okay. And Bobby fought.
He turned it on, didn't he? He's like, okay.
I think Bobby fought 3 times, and he's 3-0. And Bobby's a little guy like us, a little short guy. Yeah. And you looking at him, it's to judge the book by the cover thing. You wouldn't think he's that good, but he was technical and just picked people apart. And he was great. And there's a picture. It wasn't from the Polly fight, but there was another one where it looks like that famous Muhammad Ali picture where he's standing there and the guy's on the mat. Yeah. And I told Bobby, I said, dude, if that was me, I would have a wall in my basement would be wallpapered with that picture. I mean, it was so iconic. But so anyway, we sell out. We had a great event. For weeks after that, that's all that was talked about at the police department, fire department. I mean, everybody talked about it. So we were going to do it again the next year. And I put together a sheet, and I still have it at home. I wish I would have brought it, a pros and cons list for why we should stay at the Coliseum or why we should move to Roberts Stadium. And everybody on the board wanted to stay at the Coliseum. And I said, guys, if we're going to grow this, we got to move. We got to take a leap of faith. And we profited around $19,000 off that first one. it was going to cost us $20,000 by the time we rented Roberts Stadium. We paid Concept Sound and Light because it couldn't be me and a laptop
right.
there. We were going to have a change. So it was going to cost us as much as we profited to move to Roberts. And we went back and forth and we talked about it. And after months, I talked him into doing it. And we moved to Roberts the next year. And I told you off air I'd like to compliment Concept Sound and Light. Mark Rohr owned the whole thing at the time, and they've kind of split and have differences. Not differences, they're all together, work together, but different categories now. Yeah. But anyway, at that first one, he gave us a pretty good price, and he said, to grow this, we're going to have to add things over the years. And him and I were on the same page, and it goes back to that wrestling stuff of I wanted a big show. Well, Pat, who's one of my best friends, was more about making profit, and he didn't want to spend all the money. And he's like, he would joke with me. He goes, "You keep going, you're going to end up having pyro at this thing." And I blew him off. And then if you go now, we have pyro. I mean, we've got the whole show. It's all it's all in there now. Yeah. But it was a slow build where I kept just adding.
Sure.
Let's add a few more lights now. Let's add this. Let's add that. And Concept, I mean, they are a professional. If you've never been to Guns N' Hoses and you watch a professional fight out of Vegas or somewhere, you're not going to know the difference when you come to ours.
No, them guys are pros, man. Like I said, Jimmy, we both do. I don't know him like Jimmy does, but Dom over there.
Dom for years.
And Clint's part of it too, right?
Clint works over there, yeah. And then Flint Razier, he's over there.
So we agree with you on that call out, man.
They're amazing.
They're good people too.
And a lot of the concerts you go to, I mean, if it's a major concert, they've got their own stuff. But most of the middle of the road or even big name people that maybe aren't as big today as they were 20 years ago, if they're coming through a good chunk of time, it's Concept Sound and Light putting all that stuff up.
Yep. I do know that. I know they do a ton of stuff.
Man.
Yeah. They're pros. I mean,
they're great people too.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Big Ben Davis with Town Square Media, he took over. He's the engineer for Town Square Media, all the radio stations. But he took over my job of helping put the show part together probably 5-6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. He does a phenomenal job. I mean, he's always putting stuff into it.
Ben, is that the one you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I met Ben last year when I played the banquet.
Yes.
Yep.
Great guy.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
Just kind of an unsung hero. Never wants to be in a picture. Just wants to be under the radar. But love him. The whole Town Square Media group. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they are. I know. I've worked with them a little bit, and they are great. They're super good people, man. I've never had anything but good things to say about them. Ashley Solers is one of them.
She's one I don't really care for that much. I know she goes to church here.
Oh man. Well, regardless, she's just a good person. Man. We just like her. I've worked with some of the other ones too. They're all really good people. So
yeah, Ryan O'Brien that used to be with 99.5 and used to be before that with GBF. He has since left the radio business, but he's our MC at Guns N' Hoses and has been for. So it started with John Prell that was with KDQ, and he retired, and Ryan really wanted it. And Pat and I had talked, and we're like, yeah, it's going to be Ryan. And we hadn't told Ryan. We planned on it, and we forgot. And he sends me a text one day, and it's like, hey, I completely understand if you guys want to go another way, if you're not interested in me, and blah, 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 blah. And I see him back, and I said, dude, it's been you from the day John left. We just haven't told you. So, but he practices ahead of this time. I mean, he's got his tux.
So he's the ring. He's
the
ring.
MC up here.
Yeah.
And he also awesome. Body doubles for Jeremy Renner.
Yes,
right?
He does. He looks very,
That's
very
funny.
similar to him.
Jimmy always says that. He does look like Jeremy
That's the first
Renner.
thing I always think of when I hear his name.
Yeah, and you got me thinking of the mayor of Kingstown. Now that's what I think of him now.
Great show.
In that. Do you like that show?
Oh, love it,
man.
Yep.
The very first episode was like, here we go, getting off on a rant. But the very first, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. I'm like, I like this dude from Bloodline. I'm like, well, there he went. That didn't last long. Have you watched Bloodline?
Love that too.
Dude, I love
Absolutely.
Bloodline. Yeah. It was too short.
That got cut short.
Short, man. It did.
They got canceled. I'm assuming.
It did. Apparently, man. So, but it was good. I really did like that show. It was a good one. But so, man, out of the fights this year, man, are there any that you're super excited about?
You've hit on pretty much the ones. It's the ones where you know somebody that you have an interest in.
Yeah.
And it's changed for me a lot over the years. So in the early days, I was very good about 364 days a year. I tried to be middle of the road. I didn't try to be all team guns because for this event to be successful, and there was a lot of talk when we started about There used to be like a police versus fire softball game, and the firefighters quit doing it because they felt the police were always recruiting people and they felt lopsided. So we were very conscious that we've got to make a fair event that we can't pull any shady stuff or try to have ringers. And every now and then we have to bring somebody, like they talked about Daniel Orange, where we brought in that guy Tupe Pecco out of Indy.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to bring a ringer. It's just Daniel Orange is so damn good that we've got nobody to fight. Like Daniel's not fighting this year. He is a stud.
Yeah.
And shout out to Daniel. He's also a fellow Harrison Warrior. So that just comes naturally being there. But Daniel's one of those guys that I absolutely love, and he's on the fire side. In the early days, Willie Curry was a firefighter out of Henderson.
Is Daniel Orange the one that he was talking about that came in and didn't know anything, and then he stayed in the gym all year? And,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the dude caught him in the fight, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you go watch it, the first round, Daniel's winning.
Yeah.
I mean, he owned him the first round. And Daniel's honest. He's like Baumberger a little bit, only he's big.
Yeah.
And you look at him and you don't think he'd be quick. He's just as big, and he's not fat by any stretch, but he's got some meat on him.
Yeah.
And you would look at him and think, oh, he's just a big soft dude.
Yeah.
He's a big soft dude that will kill you. I mean, absolutely kill you.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you, he goes, I went in the corner after that first round. I said, he don't hit that hard. He's not that bad. And he goes, I started getting cocky and underestimated him. Next thing I knew, I'm waking up looking at the lights.
Yeah.
But he's probably one of the baddest men in Evansville, Indiana right now.
I mean, and that dude was an NFL running back or something like that, right?
He's a big old boy.
Yeah,
he was. But over the years, though, I'm trying to be fair, but then on Guns and Hoses night, I was 100% Team Guns. I'd get all into it, and I wouldn't cheer for any of the fire. Well, now so many of these firefighters are good friends of mine, and you start changing. And a name I don't think I've talked about in here that we absolutely should is Mike Doran, Iron Mike Doran. When we first started this in the very beginning, we had me, Pat, and Paul were all police. And we're like, who do we get from Fireside?
Now, I will tell you this. Every fighter that's been on here has brought his name up.
They brought his name up. Is he a trainer now?
He is.
Okay.
But he's also one of the best fighters we've ever had.
Okay.
And he's also the originator on the hoses side of the event.
Gotcha.
So we asked around, and we were given his name. I remember we went to his hose house. It was out on Mill Road, and we asked him if he'd like to be a part of this, and he was all in. And then, in complete fairness, and if Mike listens to this, I think he'll agree, there was many a board meeting where him and I wanted to kill each other. Really? We would argue back and forth, and which you got to respect from him, Mike is a fighter. He is a purist. He loves the sport of boxing, and he's all about making the sport of boxing look good.
Right.
Chad Emswiller fought the first year. Mike didn't want him fighting again. He was an embarrassment. He don't represent the sport. And now they've changed. Now they're really good friends, and they work together. But we had some firefighters from Owensboro come in. They didn't train. Mike was super ticked at them. But he was all about boxing, and he wanted a good boxing event. And I think we owe Mike a huge thanks for how professional the event has become
because of him.
Yeah, and all the years he was boxing, he was still helping train.
Right.
And now he's like their lead trainer over there. But we wouldn't have Guns and Hoses Day without Mike Doran.
Yeah.
And he's a huge part. But so many of these firefighters are my good friends. And so a lot of them, I'm a police chief. I can't be openly cheering for them, but they get in the ring and you're like, man, I don't want to root against this guy. And Chris Rowe fought Willie Curry years ago, who Willie is undefeated in the event. He's one of my favorite human beings in the world. And I love them both. I cheered for Chris because Chris is blue.
Yeah.
But had I not had that relationship with Chris, I probably would have cheered for Willie because I didn't want Willie to lose.
Yeah.
But I wanted Chris to win.
Right.
And so you got to be like, but Eric Baumberger, Chad Emswiller, I mean, there's others out there that they're just good dudes, and you really love them and you want to see the best of them.
I'm going to be honest, man. So and I think most people think that the Guns have this big advantage because you think, okay, they're trained to kind of deal with more like fighting stuff, where your firefighters, they're rescuing people, and sure they do stuff that requires strength and stuff.
But now let me put back on my police hat though.
Okay.
They just sit around and do nothing all day. They get to work out.
Here it comes.
Man, they got that gym to themselves all day. They've got the advantage.
That's what Chris Rowe said the first night. He was like, well, I always can tell them at the end of the night, hey, you can't even do your job till I tell you it's okay.
Don't say that. We've gave a lot of good-hearted grief back, and we would do a lot of the radio shows. Me and Doran would do them. Dave Weiss, one of the firefighters in the early days, and he's been on the board all the way up until this year. another great guy. But him and I would do radio shows, and we'd just dig each other nonstop.
Yeah.
He'd be on me about eating donuts. I'd be on him about being in the recliner all day. I mean, it was, you got to have fun with it.
Oh yeah, man. There has to be if there was no friendly rivalry, it wouldn't be near what it is. I mean, that's part of it. It is competitive against the two, the two teams, cops and firefighters. When you think of anything that happens, who's going to show up?
And nobody,
cops and firefighters.
And here's the thing: nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to be on a losing team.
No.
So remind me again, this year could potentially tie it up, right?
It could. It's 9-8, Hoses lead. And you guys kind of hit it on one of the past weeks, but it's weird how this swings. You'll go where you have Guns win 3 in a row, and then the Hoses win 3 in a row. So it's great if we could tie it up this year.
Yeah.
So like next year would be a tied thing, and whoever wins is going to have. So those
Who won,
are the years.
who
it's
won
really fun.
last year?
Hoses did.
Okay.
And I can't remember I think they may be on a streak of more than one, but I'm not.
So you guys were up, and they've recently.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% on that, but that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I always wondered if it was against what I said. I was like, is it kind of like every other year almost it trades off? But it sounds like there's some little streaks that goes on. And
the losing team, if you're in one of those droughts, it starts getting to where like, why are we doing this? And,
Right.
And so that's where.
Because you're raising money for people that need help. That's why you're doing it.
Right.
But like you said, man, at the end of the day, it's a competition, man, and nobody wants to lose, man. That's part of what makes it entertaining. That's part of why it does so well, is because everybody knows, man, these guys are out there. Like you said, nobody wants to go out there and get beat up or lose a fight. They want to win.
100%.
Every guy that goes in there is thinking, I'm going to win this fight. Even the ones that are goofy and think, I'll do this without training.
I got a chance.
Yeah.
A puncher's chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
I love the trainers over in the early years would tell us, oh yeah, we're winning this year. We got this, or this is a bad year. And I've learned over the years, don't listen to anything they say. Half the time it's not the year Phil Smith fought. And I won't mention the other name of the other guy, but there was 2 guys training for EPD with the same trainer. And the trainer told me, he goes, this dude's sharp. He's a win. You can count for it. And he goes, Phil, I'm not so sure. The dude he was talking about winning, I'm sitting next to my wife, Mitzi. And I said, yeah, we've got this. And I'm told he's an animal. 5 seconds into the fight, he's knocked out. He's done. I mean, it was over.
Oh, man.
And then Phil comes out, and this guy he's fighting comes out, and he is built like a brick. And I've heard that Phil's not that great. And I'm like, what have we done to Phil? And Phil just picks this dude apart.
Yeah.
I mean, just owns him. So it's like,
Phil, come on, big Phil.
I love it.
I've
Now-
given Phil
love
a
it.
shout out.
Phil's one of my best friends. I love him like a brother, and I'm normally all about supporting Phil. But guys, this is the week that Duke got beat, and I got to hammer that boy because he's so cocky with his Duke
he's a
love.
Duke guy. I seen you post about it. And
God, he wears me out.
I seen a brand new crying.
Oh,
Phil
I've been
meme.
hammering him all week. And people are like, "You are being ruthless." And I'm like, "You have no idea what he does to me being an Indiana fan." So you get what you deserve, Phil Smith.
What's he been? Has he been saying, Bill? What's he been saying, man?
Literally 3 or 4 minutes before that game was over, we're on a text with a bunch of people from the Indiana Chiefs of Police Association because. Long story short, we're up there years ago. Phil's running his mouth, and another chief from up north, I thought they were going to get in a fist fight. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, whoa, guys, it's just joking. But Phil's running his mouth about Indiana, about Bobby Knight. I'm just just having fun. So now Phil will start these group texts, and he'll include that chief and others, and he'll just start digging because that's what he does. So he's got this group text going that day, and one of them's like, Phil, your team's not looking so hot here. And he's like, oh, we've been here before, and we don't worry. We're not like a JV team in Bloomington, blah, blah, blah. And
Oh, man.
and literally like 3 or 4 minutes before that shot hit that they lose, he's doing this. So I'm like, yeah, I've got no sympathy for you.
Yeah.
So I've been all over him.
He earned his beat. That's great, man. That's funny. I hate Duke.
Oh,
What are your thoughts on Duke, producer Rick? You're over there being quiet.
I don't want to talk about it.
We got a Duke fan in the room? Oh my!
I'm also an IU fan though.
Okay, there we go.
And we did get something. We got first place, first out of the tournament.
Yeah. Well,
First to not make the
I
tournament.
keep going on about the football championship. Every time Phil runs his mouth, I'm like, "We're national champs right now, dude."
We are.
That's right.
Dude, did you ever think that would happen?
No.
Oh my
Who in
word!
the-
The
it's
world
nuts.
went down. It's like an alternate universe. We
Yeah.
can't play basketball, but we're the NCAA football
Absolutely
national
crazy.
championship.
I would have never in a million years
Dude,
dreamed.
never.
Now we have 2 undefeated
Yes,
college teams.
and 50 years apart. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's
right.
pretty cool.
Was it exactly 50 years?
Yeah, 76 and 20. Well, I think the football championship is considered 2025, even though it happens in 2026. I think.
Yeah.
So we're due every 50 years, basically.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But it happened in 26, so it's 50.
no,
years
but
apart.
we're gonna be strong this year in football too.
Oh, I think as long as Signetti's here, I mean, we may not win in the national championship,
No, but we'll be strong.
He's legit.
Stronger than we've ever been. We've always been a joke in football.
Yeah.
Like not even not a contender. You know, we are a legitimate football force now.
Now,
It's
if
like,
we can
what
just get
happened?
my Pacers to win a chip, that's coming up this year.
Well, maybe. You know, man, I used to love the NBA, and I don't even watch it anymore.
It's just not as fun.
It's just not, man. I just don't. I don't know.
I'm a 100% Michael Jordan over LeBron guy.
Me too.
Yeah,
Preach.
and yeah.
Yeah. It's not even. I don't even think it's close.
No.
All these people that say that he's better than Jordan, to me, they're not serious people.
No.
They don't know. It's like, you didn't watch, and you can say, well, he does all these amazing things, but here's what I can tell you is the kind of game he plays doesn't even exist if it wasn't for Michael Jordan.
And they talk about skill level, which I think skill level is up, and that's human nature. It's going to get better.
Yeah.
Training's going to get better, but Michael Jordan would have had access to that training.
Yes. Yeah.
And his drive, he would be better.
And he was doing that stuff back then, man.
And then you look at, you can pretty much travel every time you have the ball anymore, and they don't call it.
Yeah.
And then there's weak defense. Jordan would be averaging 50 points a game today.
Yeah, dude.
John Stockton said it best. Jordan climbed to the top,
Yeah.
and LeBron took a helicopter ride.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true, man.
Yeah.
It's true. You know, man, Kobe was good. I loved Kobe. I did like Kobe, man. I was a Kobe fan. That's such a shame. He was so young, man. And that happened. And and speaking of that, Tiger Woods is in the news this week. Just
Man. Old Tiger.
Dude just can't help himself.
Can't get right.
just stop driving.
That's it.
All
You've
that
got
money.
the money. You got
Hire-
the movie.
hire
the
a
money
dri-
for an Uber.
Yeah, he's got the money for a driver.
I'm saying minimally an Uber.
Yes.
Right.
What is he thinking? Going out he ain't bumper thumping or fender bending. Dude's out there flipping rides.
Well,
man.
he's doing it right though.
He is doing it right. If you're gonna do it, do
if
it
you're
right.
gonna do it. I mean, I guess that's what you do. But
They said something today like he could afford to pay somebody $1 million to sit at home and sign an NDA where he can't talk about it and have that guy driving around forever.
and still have plenty of money
everywhere.
and still have more than enough money. Well, did you see the Justin Timberlake?
I've seen the video, yeah. But that happened like a year ago.
Yeah. Well, they just got released.
Yeah. Yeah. The Vince McMahon one.
Oh, that was wild.
Dude, what happened? And I'll tell you what, I'll call your boys and blew out on that. That was bullcrap. Did you see the Vince McMahon one?
I saw the wreck,
The wreck with Eddie
but
hit?
I haven't saw any of the follow-up. But
the guy dude, the cop walked up and to his window and was like talking to Vince McMahon and he rolled his Vince McMahon rolled his window down. I was like, hi, and he was like, oh, I know who you are, sir. It was like just right away.
Fanboyed out.
Oh, right away. And then the cop's talking to him saying, okay, this is what we got to do. And Vince McMahon's phone rang and he's like, oh, I got to take this. And the cop was like, okay. Sat there and stopped talking while Vince McMahon took a phone call. I was like, hold on. He was going 100 miles an hour and clipped another car. Even if you're not drinking, Billy, what happens to me if I'm going 100 miles an hour and I clip another car?
you're gonna have cuffs
I'm
on
gonna
real
go to
fast.
jail, right?
Real
Yeah.
fast.
This dude, he didn't get nothing. It was like, what?
Well, he was late to his granddaughter's birthday party. That was what it was.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't kill somebody.
No kidding, man.
It was crazy. And then he got that's the craziest fanboy treatment I've ever seen, man.
It don't shock me.
Yeah. Seriously. He took a phone call.
Not like a McDonald's worker and a wrestling star.
Yeah. That was great, dude. I was so happy when you texted me that video.
Quentin
man.
lives up here in Newburgh somewhere, so Quentin, I hope you're listening.
Quentin. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Quentin? That's so crazy that you ended up being friends with that guy.
Oh, absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Because he was a little older than us, right?
Yeah, Quentin.
Yeah.
About our age. I think he may be a couple years older than me, but we're pretty close.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So which would have been You're a couple
little
years
bit
older
younger.
than me,
Yeah.
so he would have been 4 years older than that because he was the manager at McDonald's.
I don't know if he was a manager. He was working. He would have been a teenager, early 20s.
No, dude, he was wearing the blue. He
was okay. Maybe he was.
He was at least the shift manager. Yes, and he managed to get pulled. But it's okay. I get it, man. I would have lied about it too. There's some people. But here, I was thinking about that earlier when I was downstairs. I was like, I don't know if I want to bring that up because this guy's Billy's friend, man. But here's the thing about people. I don't even think the guy's probably lying. Like, he probably remembers it the way he tells it.
Oh, yeah. And for anybody that don't know what we're talking about, when we were in high school, we're at the McDonald's in Henderson. Jerry Lawler and a bunch of wrestlers come in. It must have been a Wednesday night. They were on their way to
Bill
Memphis
Dundee
or somewhere.
and Bill Dundee's son. Remember when it was?
Yes, yeah. But they all come in. They're behind us in line. A worker at McDonald's starts making fun of them about wrestling being fake. Lawler snaps, and I remember all of us being scared. I mean, we're like, we get out of the way. We're like, we don't want no part of this. And he's threatening to go over the counter and beat this dude up. Tells him he's going to beat his $2.50 burger flipping me. I mean, it was something. Well,
called him a body part with ears. That's
yes.
what I remember.
So years later, I'm telling this story at the Evansville Police Department, and somebody says, "Is this the Quentin Wilkerson story?" And I said, "No, I didn't know Quentin back then." And they're like, when I finished, they said, "Quentin tells the same story, but he says he was working at McDonald's and punked Jerry Lawler out." And I'm like, "No way." And so, like, I go find Quentin, and I said, "Hey, did you ever have an encounter with Jerry Lawler at McDonald's?" And he tells me, "Oh, yeah." And he starts getting excited and telling me, and he's talking about how he punked him out. And I said, what McDonald's was this? And he goes, "Oh, it was the one in Henderson on 41. And I said, "Dude, I was there." And he's like, "You weren't there." And I said, "Yeah, I was." And so he didn't believe me.
Oh,
So,
I wish we had cell phones back then with cameras on them. Dude.
well, I called Phil Culbertson, and I put Phil on speaker. And I said, "Hey, Phil, do you remember that time we were in Henderson and the wrestlers came in?" And he's like, "Oh, my God, yeah." And I said, "Hey, I got a buddy here. Will you share that story with him?" And so Phil just starts telling his memory of that story. And Quentin, man, you can see all the color drain out of his
melted.
face. And I said, "Dude, what are you running your mouth about? I mean, you got," and he was like, "No, I didn't. So then I showed you the video.
Yeah.
Lawler came to Evansville a few years ago. Quentin was about to retire from EPD. And I went out and stood in line on First Avenue at a secret headquarters owned by Jeff Osborne. And I think you guys may be talking to him about something.
He's going to be coming on, I think. Yeah.
So I'm standing in line out there. I wait. I pay my money. I go up to Jerry Lawler, and I said, "What?" Osborne tells him who I am. And then Lawler's like, "Oh, I didn't do it, man. I didn't do it." And I said, "No, actually, you did do this one." And I shared the story. And I said, "Would you be willing to do a video?"
Hold on. Did he remember it?
I don't know.
Because you know how many encounters like
so
that
many
he's probably
encounters.
Acted
had?
like he did,
Yeah.
but he didn't say for sure if he did.
Yeah.
But he started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, that sounds like something I would do." And so he was pretty cool about it. But Quentin was about to retire, so he wished him a good retirement. But he went back in that row and he said, "You better be glad you're retiring, because I was going to come back and knock at $2.50 burger flip and smile." So it was pretty funny. And then I called Quentin in my office because I'm chief at the time, and I called his whole unit up, and I made it sound like they were in trouble for something, and they were all in on it except for Quentin. And you could tell he's like a nervous wreck. And I play that video, and he's like, "Man, that ain't right."
The funny thing is it's one of my favorite childhood memories.
Oh, it's great.
Like, I'll never forget it. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday, man. Like, all of us in there, we had been to church, and we stopped at McDonald's afterwards. And we're excited just because they come in, right?
Sure.
It's Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee. It was when Bill Dundee's son started wrestling, and there was a couple more. And we're
I think Jeff Jarrett may have been one of them.
Yeah. And we were like, "Look at this, man. This is awesome."
You had no idea it was going to get so much better.
And then he like started popping off for some reason. He was like fake
So
stuff.
Quentin gave you guys that story.
He did.
There would be no story without Quentin popping off, right?
Officer Quentin,
Yeah.
thank you.
I can't wait for Quentin to watch this.
Dude. And there was the ones I remember being there were me, Billy, Aaron, Phillip,
Yeah.
Joe Thomas was there.
and Joel. Yes, Joel was there. You know, it's funny. We seen Joel the other night. Yeah, we seen Joel the other night, man. But that was I'll never forget that my whole until
great.
the day I die. You know, as long as I have my memory,
Right.
I will never forget that. And it's something that, like, it's one of those memories, honestly, to where every time I'm with anybody that's there, it's almost like
Oh, yeah.
you almost got to
Remember
talk
that
about
time?
it.
Remember? Yep.
it's
Yeah,
like
that's
one of
too
those
good
things.
not to
It
tell
was
every time.
So good, man. It was so good.
So when you have Jeff Osborne on, you have to talk about it again, because him and Lawler are like close friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I know, actually, so when me and you and him and Jeff were talking, when you kind of hooked us up and we were talking about him coming on the show, he was with Lawler somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like with him on a weekend or something.
Yeah, he goes to these events like where they meet and greet, and he hangs out with him. And
For those of you who don't know, Jeff Osborne here's what I've done. So I always do research when I'm going to have a guest on. So I went and looked up. He's literally known as the godfather of women's MMA.
yeah,
So he's the one. That
he's a legit dude, and he's from Evansville, Indiana, lives here. I mean, he pretty much founded women's MMA. He was one of the early announcers.
Well, he's the one that started
UFC, hook and shoot.
Hook and shoot, yeah, man. Which I loved hook and shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, our boy Aaron, we're talking about with us,
Yeah.
fought in hook and
Yes.
shoots when he was a kid. I always bring up Danny Thomas too over here, and like Chris Dunahan, remember him?
I don't remember that name.
He was the other. He was a black guy, man, that was super good, man. He was He was Scott's buddy. He was the other one that
I remember going in Sullivan's gym when Aaron would train there, and I mean Sullivan was a beast.
Oh, dude, he was such a. He looked like a. He looked like a movie star. He should have been a movie star, man. He should have been.
Yeah.
And I told Jimmy the other day on an episode, and not casting no shade, no way, but he's like a Catholic theologist guy now, like in Indianapolis. Like he's like a what do you call like what's Aristotle and all them people?
Theologian?
He's like a theologian,
Philosopher?
Philosopher, yeah. Like Catholic philosophy is what he does. You can look him up. He's got like a website and stuff.
I think Sam Smith trained with him back in the day.
Okay,
So
with Scott.
Sam, in the boxing event, Sam's not the best boxer at Guns N' Hoses.
Yeah.
Sam's the best fighter at Guns N' Hoses.
Yeah, he did
None of
some
those
MMA,
guys want to fight Sam just in an all.
regular fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Well, we know he trained. He actually said he actually started
with David
with
Overfield.
Dave Overfield.
Yeah.
Like he got gave him one of his first lessons. Dave Overfield, and Dave Overfield's. Do you know Dave?
I don't.
He's a guy that
I've heard the name you guys.
Jimmy trained with him a little bit when he rolled a little bit
years
and,
ago.
and
Yeah.
he went on to become. He's a good fighter, man, and now he's a school teacher.
And he owns Nice Guy.
He owns Nice Guy Submission. Yeah.
Okay,
Or
I may
part
have
of
met
it.
him before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam's he was like a champion level judo guy. He did mixed martial arts, was really good. And then late in life, I'm like, you're talking about 50. I wouldn't do. He was almost 50 when he started doing.
I think that's
Guns
what
N'
he
Hoses.
said. He was 48.
I mean,
He's getting ready to fight this fight. He's 50.
He's a stud.
I'm not going to mess him up. I'm going to tell the truth. He's 59 and a half. That's how old he is. I
And
said,
he's
you're
still
60 years
built
old,
like a
right?
brick, and-
yeah, dude. He was.
I would not want to fight Sam Smith. But
Yeah.
and I've been in fights, not me and Sam, but with other people on the street.
Yeah.
That don't work out well for him.
Yeah, he's.
When I say I've been in them, I was pretty much there and watched Sam. It was,
that's the benefits of being the chief.
I wasn't the chief back then. Yeah.
But you guys probably were on the. I mean, so you guys policed together for a long time.
Yeah, we were patrolmen together on third shift way back in like 1999, 2000.
Yeah.
So
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to ask you? I don't know what the years were. Were you chief for the first Guns N' Hoses?
no.
Okay.
I became chief in 2012, and that was the first year of the Ford Center. So we had 1 year in the Coliseum, 3 years at Robert Stadium. So year 4 is when I became
So
chief.
what's your favorite venue out of those three?
The Ford Center. Everybody talks about Coliseum, but it's that nostalgia. It was really cool. It was the first one. If we went back to the Coliseum and did it today, the way we did it then, people would be so let down. I mean, they remember how great it was.
Sure.
But you like the Ford Center better than Roberts?
Well, it's the production value of what we can do and what we have done. And Roberts I loved, but
I miss Roberts. I loved Roberts.
I loved Roberts too.
Yeah.
I did, but the lighting rigs and the rafters that you got in the Ford Center, you can hang so much more and do so much more.
It's
and-
more conducive for modern
Yes.
events. The capacity was larger.
Roberts
at
Stadium was
Roberts,
way
right?
bigger.
Roberts, I think, held 12,000 for our event at the Ford Center. It'll hold more for other things, but our event, I can't remember the exact number, but it's 9,000 and something will be a sellout.
Okay.
So if you haven't bought tickets or won tickets, please consider going. This event, I've told people for years, if you go and don't like it, I'll personally refund your money to you.
Man.
Call the DeTalented Podcast, tell them you want your money back. I'll give it to you out of my own pocket.
You heard it.
You will have a good time. The production of it is awesome. The fights, even though these guys are friendly and you'll see them hug, they are going at it. It's not scripted.
They ain't going there to lose.
I mean, no, they are going in there to knock each other's heads off for 3 1-minute rounds. But what we pound in their heads in the pre-meetings and the training is, guys, you're professional public servants. We need you to go back to work the next day.
Yeah.
This is not something you need to hate each other. And go in there and swing hard for 3 1-minute rounds, and at the end of it, give each other a hug, pat each other on the back. And honestly, I think this event has done more to create a bond between our two professions that you would think fighting would cause a rift.
It don't drive a wedge.
There's so many friendships that have been born out of this event,
and we can see that just by some of the guys we've spoken to with the because we've spoken to some guns and to some hoses, man, and everybody speaks highly of everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, as a matter of fact,
that's happened in real life for me. You know? Fight people, and you're like, oh, you're cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, you gain a respect for them. Then you're like, okay,
I think there's something that happens in those 3 minutes that you're sharing with that other guy. There's a bond there.
Yeah.
You know,
There definitely
you went through a maybe not a war in the exhibitions, but in a sense you went through a war with this guy.
You're still going through a war.
Yeah.
And like I said, we talked a little bit about it last week because he was Chad said the exact same thing. He said, man, everybody knows that we got to go to work in the morning. I'm like, but you still can't. I know because I'm a dirtbag, and I've been the guy that like in football that was like, hey, let's go easy. And then didn't go easy.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you do that. So you can't trust even the other. During that 3 minutes, them guys are going. There ain't nobody going easy. There ain't nobody.
I've seen one time in the whole 17 years we've had it, and it's Daniel Orange we were talking about. Daniel is so good. He was boxing somebody a few years ago, and he had him on the ropes, and he could have knocked him out.
Well,
and I saw Daniel pull back.
Yeah.
And after the fight, I went up to him and I said, I saw what you did, and I really appreciate it. Because most people would have went for the knockout and been able to raise their hand and say, and this was the year after he got knocked out.
Yeah.
And he could have knocked a guy out.
Well,
and he saw what he was doing, and he's like, he backed off.
That's class. I'm not hurting.
It's 100% sure.
Yeah. And I don't mean they're trying to kill each other and hurt each other badly, but man, in the heat, man, you're going. But someone that's really skilled like that proves their skill. That proves that they're like they're human and they're not gonna, if he could have just literally probably hurt him bad and just, made the decision not to. I'll tell you what, it's my least favorite part of it. I love MMA. My favorite fighters are the ones who don't continue after someone's obviously knocked out. Like that's the one thing I hate about it. It's like when they keep someone's obviously asleep. Yeah. They keep hitting, dude. I'm like, dude, that's like on the street, maybe.
Show some class.
Yeah. On the street, you don't want that person to get back up because they're going to come back at. But that's a sport, dude. There's no reason to keep beating an unconscious person.
Yep.
Right.
I would agree.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's my least favorite part. Although I did enjoy when Dan Henderson threw that extra punch.
He said I did.
You remember that fight?
Yes, I do.
When he fought Bisping. Oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, who's ready to give away some tickets? You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I have used a randomator. Is that a word?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give these. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read these out on tonight's show, and then I'm going to reach out to each person, and I'm going to let them know that they won. We've got 30 tickets to give away, so each winner is going to win 2 tickets because nobody wants to go to Guns and Hoses by themselves, And I will get with you. I will message you on YouTube or on Facebook, depending on where you commented, because due to a little bit of lack, we had to go with a few Facebook comments, and that's okay, man, because they're still watching the DeTalented podcast, and they commented the right thing. And so I will reach out to you on either of those. That communication will come from the DeTalented Podcast. I will not ask you for any information. Do not give anybody any information about yourself. If someone asks you for your social security number, your credit card number, that ain't us, right? I will literally give you a safe place to come and pick your tickets up, and you can get those. And I'll give you a date and a time frame that you can do that. So, without any further ado. Old man's got to put his glasses on. Here are the winners. Are you ready, Jimmy?
I'm ready.
Ashley Miller, you have won 2 tickets to Guns N' Hoses 2011. User on YouTube at CoxPat2111. you have won 2 tickets to Guns N' Hoses 2011 at the Ford Center. Charlie
What
Digman,
are you talking about? 2011.
That's their
That's in part
no,
of
it's
their
not
tag.
2011. It's 2111. 2111. Yeah. So regardless, it's part of it. Charlie Digman, Sherry Bomberger, you have won 2 tickets to Guns N' Hoses.
We may want to throw that in that. She's probably cheering for Eric. We don't want to.
Hold on a minute. I said Guns N' Hoses 2011, didn't I? That's
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's because I just read that part of her thing. So you see,
Okay.
I messed
Gotcha.
up. That's what I did. Why you got to call somebody?
I'm
out for?
sorry, man. It's your podcast. I need to shut up.
Good night. None of you have won.
2011.
None of you have won Guns N' Hoses tickets 2011. You have won 2026 Guns N' Hoses tickets. John Hoff, you have won tickets to the 2026 Guns N' Hoses on April 11th. Vicky Lynn Raleigh, you are a winner of 2 tickets. Cadence Flashner, you have won 2 tickets to Guns N' Hoses. Shawnee Patton, you have won 2 tickets. Michael Walsh, you have won 2 tickets. Rick White, you have won 2 tickets to Guns N' Hoses. Pauline Muse, you have won 2 tickets to Guns N' Hoses. Charlene White, you're a winner of 2 tickets. Tanya Keebler, you're a winner of 2 tickets. Nick Jones, not to be convinced with Nick Jonas. Do you like that?
Yeah.
You have won 2 tickets
I like the
to Guns
color.
N' Hoses. And finally, Tracy Lewis Arthur, you have won 2 tickets to the 2026 Guns N' Hoses event hosted at, I almost said Robert Stadium, the Ford Center on April 11th.
Wow.
So I will be in contact. The DeTalented Podcast will be in contact for this wonderful event. We will encourage you, please. You are getting free tickets, so buy a T-shirt, buy a hat, buy something from the people. And the reason I say that is because that money goes to the charity that supports these people that need help. The whole reason it's there. You get your tickets for free. I think tickets are $40 this year, right around that price.
So there's 3 levels. If you're in the upper deck, it's 20. The lower bow is 30, and floor seats are 40.
All right. So I don't know what these are, the tickets we have, but I got them right here in my hand. Man, we're super excited to be able to give these away. This event would not be possible without the man sitting to my left, Mr. Bill E. Bolin. It's such an amazing thing that you've done and that you came up with, man. I'm always proud to call you a friend, man. You are a like I said, you're a man. You're a miracle worker. You're right up there with Helen Keller, man.
Appreciate the nice
Was
compliment.
Helen Keller a miracle?
Wasn't that the movie called her movie?
Was it? I don't know.
Miracle Worker.
I'm not sure.
Something like that.
I'm
Dude,
not sure.
You've done some pretty amazing things.
I appreciate it.
That-
But
you
like
know-
I said, I'm not trying to be humble, but in all seriousness, I've never got in that ring.
Yeah.
And we've got 17 years, this will be 18th year of people willing to get in there and knock each other's heads off in front of people.
But I've seen you in the ring.
Yeah, I would be the one get my head knocked off. That's what you've seen. But I've done a good Don King in the early years and helped them getting it going. But it's the people that get in there. They're the ones
man.
that really deserve it.
Yeah, they and we do, man. To all the fighters that have been on the show, to Shannon, who is the
She does the lion's share, and for years that any of the graphics you see, any of the posters, if you're at the event, the stuff you see on the ribbon, the jumbotron, the program, that's all Shannon.
Yeah. Shannon Booker, right?
If you like any of the Crying Phil stuff that I've done over the years, you can thank Shannon. I mean, it's
this right here. Look, I got it in Billy's camera too. The Crying Phil Cup. I'll never forget. Billy pulled up the day after that. Let me tell you what else Billy has done. It was a miracle. Billy was on the episode where all of a sudden we became TikTokers. And we talked about
That's right.
the Evansville professional football team.
Crimson Giants.
And dude, that was our first. That TikTok's got like 100,000 views.
My kids sent me. They're like, "Dad, you're going viral." And I'm like, "What?"
And we've had a few kind of take off after that, but you were the first one that
awesome.
that really went crazy. Now Phil brags because for a while Phil got the most views, but
Yeah.
that's because we had some help that episode got promoted by Evansville Watch and did some stuff. Not Phil, not that people didn't want to see you.
Oh no, I'm better than Phil. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah. We need to have Phil back on one time, man. We need to get them two together. We need to get it once we get our setup to where we can have two together at the same time, because we're just set up for one guest at a
True story with him. It's 2 weeks ago. I was in training in Bolin Green, Kentucky, and it's about 10:30 at night. And he texts me, and he goes, "Hey, you still awake?" And I said, "Yeah." And he calls me right after that. We talk and talk and talk. And if dude, I'm tired. I got class in the morning. I look at my phone. I haven't done this since high school. We talked for 2.5 hours, and I don't know what we talked about for that long on there. But I love Phil like a brother. He's a great dude, but I give him all kinds of grief.
Like I said, we brought him up last week, talked about Phil, and we talked about Ray, his brother. They're both great.
Oh yeah, people, Ray's phenomenal. And if you've met, he's got another brother, Cameron, and he's got sisters. They're all identical.
Yeah,
unfortunately, his dad passed away a few years ago, but his dad and mom, and I told his dad this before he passed, I'm like, you guys need to write a parenting book, because whatever they did, they
just had great kids.
All of them. It is crazy how they are. And
I've only met Phil and Ray, but
so we do the toy drive every year, and we deliver toys to all the hospitals, and then one of them is the Evansville Psychiatric Children's Center. Years ago, when I first meet Phil, I'm getting ready to go deliver. He wasn't on the board yet. And he says, "Where are you guys deliver to?" And I tell him, he goes, "Oh, my brother Cameron works at the Evansville Psychiatric Children's Center." So we get there, and I said, "Hey, is Cameron Smith working?" And all the women up there, they all start acting like people would act when you talk about Phil or Ray. "Oh, he is so great. Oh, we love Cameron." I'm like, what have they done in that family? Because they really could make money off of it. It's crazy.
They should write a parent. Hey,
did I talk about going to Ray's church at all the last time?
No, I remember hearing the story, how you talked about how they were so good and they hugged on you and loved on you.
Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Yeah. And it's an all-black church in the inner city of Hopkinsville. We're white people from Indiana. They don't know us from anybody. And Ray wasn't out there yet. He was in the back somewhere. Every single person in that church come up, gave us a hug. You would see new people walk in. They'd go drop their stuff in their pews, come straight over to us, give us a hug. "Oh, thank you, Jesus, for you being here." And I told my wife that day I got home, I said, "I've never had more hugs in my life." And it explained a lot. It was Phil's dad's church, and his brother Ray took over. And if you know Phil or Ray, they hug everybody they meet. They tell everybody they love them. I've never seen anything like it.
That's what the real love of the Lord is, man.
That's it.
And I remember from, that's what it is. It's just who they are shining.
Yeah.
Through that is who they are. They're great. And can I give one more shout out?
Sure.
To a special big guy. I know we've talked about him, but I'm gonna say, man, a big shout out to Big Sexy, man.
Yeah.
To Kelly Yard, man. Yeah. Yardy. Is it Yardy?
Yardy.
Yardy.
Yeah.
Man, dude, he's been so great through this process. He's been the one that kind of facilitated it after me and you talked, and he's just he's a supporter of the show, of the DeTalented Podcast, and he speaks so high. Man, he's just if there's one of the things I'm the most thankful for through this process is that we got to meet Big Sexy and
he's honestly
Shannon,
one of the nicest human beings. And
so
good dude, man.
Big Sexy is definitely a friend of the show, and we've told him he's welcome. He can just show up anytime he wants to. And,
no, be careful. He may be up here all the time.
That's all right.
I know.
Bring it on.
When I pulled in today, I was like, "Well, it's Big Sexy in the parking lot." You know what I mean? So we love that dude, man. But as always, it's been fantastic. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I don't know that I've enjoyed a series that we've done. We've done series on like serial killers. We've done series on, we go home feeling like, this series every week I go home feeling like so good, man. This has been the best. This has been the best filling series that
it has been
done.
great.
Awesome.
Maybe next week we'll go back to something.
No, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that to me and producer Rick.
But this one has been fantastic, man, and I can't wait. I'm so thankful for the opportunity that our little podcast has got involved with this event.
I appreciate you guys doing it.
Yeah,
it helps support our event.
Yeah,
couldn't
for
thank you
sure.
enough.
And we plan on doing it as long as we're around, man. Don't forget, come out and see us, even if you didn't win tickets.
And let me throw out something real quick. You guys have heaped a lot of praise on me, but it's kind of cool for me to see two of my childhood buddies being successful, running a church, having a podcast. So it's kind of cool for some of us too. So appreciate you guys.
Well, we
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you, and we love you, brother.
Yep, same here. Love you.
Always, man, for sure. So, as always, it's sad. It's so sad
It is.
to say goodbye,
Yeah.
but nobody does it like my buddy Jimmy. Who before you say goodbye, don't forget. Maybe you weren't the lucky ones that won the tickets, but
Do you guys have time for one more story?
we
Do you need to get done?
Oh,
we
bring it on.
Billy,
It's just because of what you're about to do.
we got time for everything.
Say it.
You guys know Brian Brown.
Absolutely,
Yep.
yes.
So
absolutely.
he's one of our buddies we grew up with, ran around with, and it was more late high school age. But there used to be a church event at the church next to Harrison, across from at First Christian, across from like Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
They would do like a Halloween alternative event at Halloween.
Oh yeah, they got the big gym and all that.
Yeah. So Mitzi and I were dating. Heather was not dating Brian, but Heather is one of Mitzi's best friends. Brian was one of mine. So the four of us go to this Halloween alternative event, and they've got this mock car crash where they've got a car there, and they walk you through this thing. It's supposed to be this sad thing, like somebody's died. But at the very beginning, and they sit us down, we had to fill out a little card and put our name and contact info. Tombstone had just came out. And I just went blank on the guy, Johnny
Ringo.
Ringo. Johnny
Ringo.
Ringo. So
Johnny
Brian
Ringo.
Brown writes down his name as Johnny Ringo. And he's just being silly. And I write my name. Everybody writes their names. We're going through this whole house. Well, it gets to the end, and it's a somber part. And they open up the Lamb's Book of Life, and they start reading names. It didn't click with us yet what they were doing, but it was the cards that we filled out at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so they get the one, they say, Johnny Ringo. And me and Brian start laughing hysterically. And I mean, this is this church event. Everybody's solemn. And there's some older people that are getting ticked. And you know how it is when something's funny.
Oh,
and you
it
can't
only
quit.
gets worse.
We
Yeah.
just kept laughing harder and harder. So the Johnny Ringo thing Tombstone has been a big part of my life. It's one of those stories we laugh about.
So that was like that. ECS did that too. What was that event called?
Night of Death.
Night of Death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was kind of weird because they're trying to scare kids, trying to scare the hell right out of them.
yeah.
Is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But
It works sometimes.
That's great. And Brian, so by the way, Brian Brown is another he's another policeman.
Yeah,
still
he's
there.
Evansville Police. He's
Yeah.
getting close to retirement because he's getting old like the rest of us.
Yeah,
but
well,
It happens.
You know, and he was another Kmart cop. Started at
Yep.
Kmart.
Yeah.
And
we did loss prevention, had fun.
moved in. Did he start in Henderson too?
No, Brian and I met working. And I just laughed because I'm thinking some stories that are not appropriate for this. But we met at the Morgan Avenue Kmart working as stock guys, and then he moved up to the Newburgh Kmart, and then I start catching shoplifters. And my first month of doing that, they have a loss prevention meeting with all the stores from the area. And they announced that they've got this new loss prevention guy in Newburgh, and it's Brian Brown. So Brian and I had known each other for a couple of years, but they sent him to my store to train with my boss. And you remember Carmen, the Christian singer?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So
The champion.
the champion, Lazarus. So Brian and I go to lunch, and I don't remember which one of us was driving, but whichever one it was popped in a Carmen cassette tape. And the other one was like, you know Carmen? And we've been like best buddies ever since. So
awesome.
it's just crazy how
That's
that worked
all-
out.
that's
yeah.
great.
I know you guys were good buddies.
We both ended up working Kmart loss prevention. We went to Walmart. We both went to the Henderson Police, then the Evansville Police Department. So I'm back in Henderson. I don't think he plans on coming back, but we've pretty much went everywhere with each other.
Together.
But sorry, I
Absolutely.
interrupted your ending.
No.
but
No,
I
it's
just
okay.
thought of
That was a good
Tombstone,
story,
so-
yeah.
It's okay. Before you ended, I was going to say, don't forget, maybe you didn't win the tickets, but we still want you to come to Guns and Hoses 2026, not 2011. That'd be hard to do.
That
Come to
would be.
2026. It's on April 11th at the Ford Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. Yours truly, Jimmy DeTalent, will be singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
And then all these amazing fighters are going to be fighting.
One more last thing. I'm glad you had the reminder.
Go for
Tomorrow night, Friday night, Casey's Timeout Lounge, the Guns and Hoses weigh-in is at 6:30.
Yes.
So come out and you can see all the fighters that are going to be fighting next week.
Be there or be square.
Yes, sir.
Can you believe I just said that?
Yeah, I believe it.
As always, Jimmy DeTalent, say bye.
Well, bye.
Oh, wow, that's really ringing loud.